everybody. Wish to Egypt, Arab nations, all Muslim nations a very happy Ramadan month. Many happy returns of the month. In today's episode, we will try to shed some light on a very important question. Why is the US administration siding the Ethiopia in the crisis of the Renaissance Dam negotiations? For more details, please stay tuned and don't go away. Welcome. Actually, the US administration that claims to defend democracy and raise the banner for defending the human rights all over the world, this administration doesn't pay any attention or any care for 150 million people in Egypt and Sudan to have an access for water, which is considered the most important right for any human being, while launching campaigns of criticism if anyone is deprived from exercising his political rights. While the same administration launching campaigns of criticism if any person is deprived from exercising his political rights, though you can live without exercising your political rights, but you cannot live without having an access to drinking water. Actually, evidence of the America's bias towards the Ethiopian side is very clear, and is the first decision taken by the new American administration is to lift the sanctions were imposed by the previous administration of Mr. Trump. In addition to the statements of the regional spokesman of the US State Department, Samuel Warburg, that America will not impose any sanctions on Ethiopia, and that US administration believes that continuing negotiations is the best way to reach a solution to the crisis, and that the international community will not allow Egypt to use the military option, and that the international community will respond strongly to Egypt. This is the evidence of the bias of American administration to the Ethiopian side. So the big question is still unanswered. Why is the new administration siding Ethiopia against Egypt and Sudan in geared negotiation? Here is the answer if you are interested to know the answer. America decided to withdraw its forces spread around the world and decided that it would not enter into any wars in order to devote itself to confronting China. But America has obstacles and problems that must be solved. One of the most important of these problems is the security of Israel. In order to achieve security for Israel, there are three powerful countries that represent a threat to Israel: Egypt, Iraq, and Syria. So America must work to weaken them. Already Iraq and Syria become history, but Egypt still remain. That's why America, therefore the event of January 25th were arranged in Egypt. And the plan was based on the Muslim Brotherhood assuming power in Egypt.
There is a document called the Presidential Security Directive 11, or PSD 11. This was the Barack Obama administration's plan to use the entirety of the United States government and its capabilities to support the overthrow of friendly allied governments across the Middle East and North Africa, and to replace them with Muslim Brotherhood regimes. Now, this document was published, I shouldn't say published, this document was written, was promulgated in August 2010. It remains classified, So I cannot say that I've ever seen it, and only those with the highest clearances have seen it. But its gist has leaked out over the years, and the general gist of PSD-11 is understood to be the empowerment of the Muslim Brotherhood, especially across North Africa, but also domestically, right here at home in the United States, and the Persian Gulf area, the Middle East heartland, if you will, was to be for the domination by Iran and the Shiites. So there you see a little bit of a trade-off. The Shiites would have the Middle East heartland, the Sunnis would get North Africa. But in any case, the idea was to change governments. The Obama administration, the Clinton Secretary of State Department, were dedicated to changing governments in these areas to give them over to Muslim Brotherhood and jihadist domination.
But Egypt has spoiled this satanic plan despite all the pressures and threats exercised by the American administration during the Obama era. Egypt was able to expel the Muslim Brotherhood. Therefore, when the basic plan failed, there was an alternative plan, Plan B. At the same time as the events of January 25th in Egypt was occurred, alternative plan, Plan B, to weaken Egypt and subjugate it by controlling water resources by building the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, was occurred. The new administration in Egypt was able to expel the Muslim Brotherhood, to fight terrorism, to carry out development projects, and to establish stability in Egypt, and strengthen the Egyptian army by concluding huge arms deals from several sources far from America, in which they were asking America for certain weapons that would increase the strength of the Egyptian army. But these demands by Egypt always rejected by US, like the F-15 and F-35 air jet fighters. That's why Egypt got the weapons it wanted from France, Rafale planes, and from Russia, the Sukhoi 35 planes. And whenever the American administration saw the situation of Egypt stabilizing and the strength of its army increasing, the hatred of the American administration towards Egypt increased. This is briefly the answer to the question of why America is siding with Ethiopia in the Renaissance Dam negotiations. In the end, I would like to send a message to the American administration. We have trees in Egypt that are older than the age of your country. Obama came and went, and Egypt still remains, still exists. Also Biden will go and Egypt will remain, will exist. So please try to read the history. Maybe you will learn something valuable.